The movie reviewed in this episode is rated R. Listener discretion is advised. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Scary Movie Nights podcast, a bi-weekly podcast where the scares are real, but the friendships are realer. Tonight, we will be reviewing Robert Eggers' first film, released in 2015, The Witch, or as we like to say, The Vivitch. That's Mariana.
And that's Joan.
And we are your hosts for the evening. But first, Mariana, let me ask you, what had you conquering the wilderness this week?
I think the resilience and determination of nature itself.
Because you cleared your backyard?
Because I cleared my fucking backyard today, and it took us like 1,000 years. I was like, this is gonna be like an hour. We were out there for like 2 hours, and then we had to like go buy stuff. Like, it was a whole thing. I got severely cut up by one of our trees. We have this beautiful acacia. It is a Texas native plant. It's beautiful. It has these like
thorns,
fuzzy little pink buds. Like, it's so cute. It's like a little pom-pom, gorgeous, but it is covered in thorns. And I was pruning it, but also I had to get behind it to like readjust our like lights that we have in the backyard. And my arms were horribly cut. Actually, you can't even tell, but they were just, you can see here, like, all these little cuts.
Yeah, it's all red.
My God. And I was wearing a sweater too. Like, I wasn't even like, bare armed, but
you need those long gloves.
Yes.
Just like,
I had them on my hands, so my hands are fine, but like my forearms.
But your forearms.
But yeah, I think nature is beautiful. It persists. Nevertheless, she persisted, and that was nature.
A nerdy fact, I love my favorite mutualistic relationship, or one of, is the, is it, I might not be remembering this correctly, is it the acacia plant and the acacia ant?
Yeah.
The ants that like make the nests inside of like the thorns and stuff like that.
This is a different acacia, but yes.
Yeah, it's a different species of acacia, but like, it's so cool. I actually love, I use that example every year to teach mutualism, and it's just so fun.
Yeah, my favorite mutualistic relationship are the fungi and the cyanobacteria that make up lichen, which is really important for like succession.
Like succession, primary succession.
And they are, your pioneer species. And speaking of pioneers, actually, before we talk about pioneers, Joan, what had you conquering the wilderness this week?
Conquering the wilderness like lichen.
Like lichen, yes!
I really enjoyed the holidays this year, like Christmas and all that. Like, we got to see my family. It was not super awkward, like it sometimes is, so that was really cool. I loved opening presents with Brian, opening presents with you guys. Logan and I played Magic the Gathering. Like, was it your first time playing? Oh, period. Okay, and he beat me twice, y'all, okay? I told Brian, I was like, Logan's too good at Magic. I don't know if I want to play with him anymore.
I hate when that happens, where you show your friend a thing and they're really good at it and you've been working really hard at it.
I'm like, this is not okay, Logan. You need to be worse. I also got to see one of my best friends, John and Eric, on Friday, and we like hunted around for like all these cards that I had to gift. Because like I had this like gift idea in my mind for Logan of like getting him the cards, and then like no one freaking had them, bro, and like all week it was like a hunt for them, and so Friday I finally was able to acquire them.
We were also on a hunt for the Benson Boone vinyl. We failed. We couldn't get it. We got other really cool ones, but damn, that shit was sold out like everywhere.
Well, for us it was like trading card games were sold out completely. GameStop pulled through on the Pokemon cards, and Walmart of all places pulled through for the Magic cards.
Really?
Yeah. So I actually really enjoyed last week. It was so much fun. I loved all of the gifts that I received, and I think everyone liked the gifts I gave them. So that actually is really cool, because I love giving gifts, but I also like receiving gifts, okay? Like, I'm not gonna be shy about that, because I do like opening gifts and shit. You know what I mean? Like, get me stuff, y'all. Like, I will get you really cool stuff. I think I'm a really good gift giver. but also give me stuff.
I think I definitely prefer gift giving.
Okay.
Because sometimes I feel like overwhelmed by the amount of things that I have, and I'm just like trying to like fight like the leeches in my brain that are like capitalism. But ultimately, I really like things. And y'all got me this little tiny watercolor. Actually,
yes.
My dog nieces and nephews and Felix,
yeah,
their pets got me
those are Daisy and Felix.
Teeny tiny like to-go watercolor set, and I was like, fuck. Like, this is great. No, y'all nailed
Another
the gifts.
hobby.
And the earrings
Yes,
that Brian got at Renfest like months ago
He's
that
so
I just
sneaky.
mentioned I liked. Anyway, no, it was great. But it was really fun. I also loved Christmas this year, and more than anything, like we went out of our way to like hang out with people and
exactly.
make plans. And so that was like my favorite thing. Like we've seen almost all of our friends. We've gone to see them, the ones that are in town, in the past like week and a half. So it's been like hang out. Yeah. And it's very fulfilling. So that's awesome.
No, that was definitely my favorite part of last week was the gift giving, etc. But like the people that we got to hang out with, that was definitely my favorite part. Like playing magic cards with Logan.
Oh my God.
Watching you knit
our
with
Christmas
Brian
morning was lovely, actually. Yeah. We went over there and Brian made us his signature Christmas morning breakfast, which was delicious.
The mind of a 10-year-old.
Yeah, the mind of a 10-year-old, but like, eons ahead of his time.
Correct.
So it was so good. And so like, I'm very much like acts of service. So the fact that like y'all invited me over and did that. And Brian made me a corn casserole for Christmas. Anyway, okay.
No, so that was awesome. And that ties into this because community, I guess, maybe. But enough about that. Let's sign the book for The Witch 2015.
Oh my God, I started dabbing like ironically, like,
and now you can't stop.
But now I can't stop doing it. I'm doing it all the time. It's crazy. Sorry.
That's always how the meme, the shit meme starts.
Things are so cyclical. Trends are so cyclical. Dabbing is back, everybody.
Dabbing is back. Okay. Next thing you know, you'll be doing the Dougie. And the what is it? The stanky leg.
We're gonna hit the Superman. Like, watch me crank that soldier boy.
The soldier boy. That's what I was trying. God, I'm so old. What's that thing called that we used to do?
The one we used to crank.
Anyway, so as y'all know, The Witch is probably my all-time favorite horror movie. And it's really funny because when I first watched this movie, Brian and I watched it together. I actually hated it. I was like, I don't understand anything that's being said. I don't understand like the cinematography. I don't get any of it. And it wasn't until I started, like, I think the second time I watched it, Brian was not there. And I was like, you know what? Let me give this a second chance. And I watched it with Robert Eggers' commentary on it. And it taught me so many really cool things. I think really and truly, like, when I watched The Witch is when my adult appreciation of horror movies really came into full force because I was able to see it through a director's lens almost. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm really excited not only to like hear the trivia and all the history and stuff that you have looked up for us, but I also am really excited to hear all of your thoughts on like the themes and discuss that with you. So, yay! This is a great start to the year, y'all. For those of you who have not watched the movie, this next section is a no spoiler section. So
oh my God, this episode comes out on my birthday.
Girl!
Right? January 8th, too?
Probably.
Because the last one was last Thursday, this week, and then the
No, you're right. It is on the 8th.
Happy birthday. Sorry, I was just like, doing math in my head.
If you're listening to this on the 8th, you better say happy birthday.
Thanks.
To Mar, because it's her birthday. Okay, no spoiler section.
Spoilers. Sorry, I totally interrupt. I'm so bad.
Take it away, Mar. You're good.
Okay, here we go. So, the Vivitch, which I'll talk about why he chose VV instead of W for the spelling, but I mean, it is The Witch. But it is a folk horror film set in New England, and it follows a Puritan family being plagued by strange forces in their newly inhabited land. This movie was written and directed by Robert Eggers. This was his first like feature film, so I think he'd done like shorter things in the past, but this was his first feature film.
Yeah, he also talks about, a little bit more context too. Logan and Mar gave me a The Witch book for Christmas one year. and it has the full script as well as like an interview between Eggers and this other guy who's like an expert on Puritan history and witchcraft specifically, and a short section of an essay about the film and some like other really cool stills and like production sketches and stuff like that. Anyway, in that interview that's in that book, Eggers talks about how he has done a lot of films, I'm sorry, not films, but scripts for films that nobody wanted to produce.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting that this was his first like feature directorial debut, like that he actually got funding for from A24.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hearing the way he talks about it, it was like a very much a work of love for him. So that's funny. Yeah, it's his directorial debut.
I read that he was really inspired by like his childhood, and he was always like intrigued and fascinated by like witches. And he would, as a child, because he lived in New Hampshire, I want to say, I think that's correct.
Maybe, I don't know.
But as a child, he would visit a place called Plymouth Plantation, and it has like these old-timey houses like from the Puritan times, and so he was intrigued by all of that, and so he really was super, from what I've read, like committed to creating a film that was like true to this time period. And it's a film that's so beautifully made, and it's so haunting, and it's definitely a horror movie, but like the horror elements are like
very subtle.
Yes, like they're so subtle, but they're so impactful. And then I'll have some thoughts later on like what I think would happen in this movie had there not been all the supernatural elements that were in it.
Okay.
But I'll get to that later, because I think that might kind of veer into spoilers. But our cast is absolutely stacked.
Love.
We have Anya Taylor-Joy. This was also her first like feature-length film. She plays Thomasin, and she ate. Like this was not the. I remember her seeing her for the first time in Split.
Okay.
She had brown hair. And then I don't know if she did that first. When did that come out?
Split was in 2016.
Okay, yeah. So this was her first. We have Ralph Ineson as William. He is the father, the patriarch of the family.
My God, I love Ralph Ineson's voice.
He was also in Nosferatu, so
Yes,
Eggers.
he was.
He was in The First Omen, not Eggers, but still. He was in Del Toro's Frankenstein. And he's filming Werewolf.
Yes.
So I think we can categorize him as
King.
a Scream King.
Not to mention also Ralph Ineson voiced a character in Diablo 4. So if you know, like, I forget what the character's name was. What was the name of the character? Let me see. Hold on.
He was also in Harry Potter.
I also do not recall.
Hold on one second,
I
Mar.
want to say it's like venison or something, but...
Venison. Oh, it's almost like the...
His filmography, discography is crazy.
Hold on one second. Wait. Don't go on. Don't go forward. Lorath. Okay, so Ralph Ineson also voiced Lorath in Diablo 4, and I think that counts as a scary video game.
I think so.
It's a horror video game. It's not like scary, but it has horror elements. Like it has a lot of gore. It has like demons and like really dark themes. So yeah, Scream King.
Scream King.
Period.
Scream King for sure. We have Kate Dickie as Catherine. She was also in The Northman. So Eggers likes to really stay loyal to these actors, because Anya Taylor-Joy is also in The Northman.
I really want Robert Pattinson to come back, or Pattinson. I really want Robert Pattinson to come back to an Eggers film, because he did The Lighthouse with him, and he did such an incredible job. I think Robert's an amazing actor.
I love him.
I love him too, actually.
Twilight was some of his best work. No, I don't think so, but no, he was excellent. Mickey 17, he was so
Mickey
good.
17 was amazing,
So good.
yeah.
Love him. We have Harvey Scrimshaw as Caleb. He was, Thomason's little brother. We have Ellie Granger and Lucas Dawson as the twins. Okay, we'll talk about the twins
For
later.
real.
We have Julian Richings as the governor. Bathsheba Garnett as the witch.
There's no way
what
Bathsheba.
What the heck? That's a crazy name, and
That's
she's playing a witch.
awesome. I love that.
Insane. And then Sarah Stevens as the witch, the young one, the really hot one. And then we have Daniel Malick as Black Phillip, the voice and the human form, and Charlie the goat as Black Phillip, the goat. who was also in It Comes at Night. So I think this is another Scream King alert.
Oh,
Charlie the goat.
Charlie the goat, literally the goat.
The literal goat.
The literal
like
goat.
The actual goat that was in the
goat.
film. Eggers, when casting the film, actually cast everyone in England because he wanted accurate accents. Because all these people, they're Puritans, they're newly arrived to, you know, America from England, from the old country. They're always talking about, like, oh, you know, back in England we had windows.
Yes.
We had glass windows. It was crazy. Yeah, I was like, bitch. And then I was like, they don't have glass in their windows. They must be so cold.
Yep.
Now, for production, they worked extensively with British and American museums. They really wanted to nail the agricultural practices of the time. They also wanted to nail, for the set, they brought in a thatcher and a carpenter. What is a thatcher?
Roof.
I'm so glad you knew. I didn't look it up. I didn't bother. That sounds right.
I feel like that's correct.
That sounds right. But they brought in, like, genuine thatchers and carpenters who had proper experience building in the film's, or the style of the film's time period, which is insane. It was filmed in Canada, so they wanted to shoot it in, you know, the New England area, but Canada was cheaper. They had tax incentives, so they shot in Canada, and they actually had a hard time finding the right, like, wilderness, the right, like, woods.
Right.
So it was actually like a pretty remote town in Canada that they filmed in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand wanting to do it for tax incentives. I feel like A24 at this point was a pretty young, like, production company.
You could still call it indie at the time.
Yeah, I think
I don't know if you can still call it indie now.
And then Eggers, they were basically rolling the dice with him. You know, like, obviously he had experience and he has the education and all that, but like, he'd never made a feature film before.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're like building this movie on a budget.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Eggers shot only with natural light, and indoors the only lighting they used was candles.
He loves to do that.
Yeah, he did the same in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
I'm sure the budget for Nosferatu was much bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
He also chose the two V's instead of the W for the title sequence, for posters, because he saw the spelling in a Jacobean era pamphlet on witchcraft and among other period texts. So I think the letter W itself wasn't as popular, so they just put two V's together for that w sound.
Yeah, well, it probably comes from the, like, the printing the printing press thing, because like you could spend money to make a W stamp, or you could just do two V's. And so I think that's probably what it was.
Also, I want to shout out, we often don't talk about costumes, but Linda Muir,
sure.
She did the costumes for this film. She consulted hella books on how people would dress at the time. These costumes were made with natural fibers, which would be time accurate. So wool, linen, hemp, all materials I hope to someday exclusively have in my wardrobe. No polyester, no spandex in this house.
Biblical only.
Biblically accurate garments only. The film was shot in 25 days. It's just crazy.
Amazing.
But oh god, every time I think about them making this movie, I think about how cold they must have been.
Oh yeah. I mean, it just looks like a cold movie.
It looks cold.
Like, it feels cold.
Yes, it feels cold. Like, I feel it's cold today. Like, the cold that it is today, and it's like really gloomy today outside. That's the vibe.
It's giving witch vibes.
It's giving
vibes.
Yes. We should go to the backyard right now. I just cleaned it.
Yeah.
Wait. No, I'm just kidding. I would like cut to us in the backyard.
Cut to us in the backyard.
No, I'm too cold for that. Sorry.
No, we're already gonna do that for the Blair Witch. So
yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna jump to miscellaneous details because I want to leave the themes for the end because I think we'll have like a lot more to talk about.
Yep.
Not necessarily because of spoilers, but I really want to delve into these themes, and I literally just like wrote them down, but I have like many thoughts on them. Now in this movie we see multiple times a hare, like a rabbit, And in colonial New England, hares were considered magical creatures in their own right. They are associated with witches, either as a milk hare, which stole or spoiled milk from the farm animals, which does happen in the movie. And then also it was thought that witches themselves, who were thought to be able to turn into a hare in order to spy and influence people. Now, the premise for this film was based on America's first witch hysteria, which was before Salem, which is like the one most people think of. So this would have been 62 years before the Salem witch trials in colonial Massachusetts, which I think is kind of interesting because when I first watched it, I was like, oh, this is like Salem, but it's not. Now, in the film, at one point, William, the dad, he's shown holding a rotten cob of corn because, all of their crops start going bad. Their animals aren't, producing milk, or instead of milk, they're putting out blood, which is crazy. But we have this rotten cob of corn, which is mistaken for ergo, or is it ergot? Which is a fungus that produces the hallucinogen ergotamine, which is commonly accepted as the cause of hysteria involved in cases of witchcraft. However, this is most commonly found on rye and other cereal grasses and not corn. So this is definitely not what Robert Eggers was going for, but I did think that was interesting.
I never even thought about that it would be a hallucinogen. For me, it was more of like they were being cursed by the witch and there was like a blight upon the land and stuff
I think that was definitely like what was happening in the film, but I think that this is like a common explanation for like other witch trials in history. It's like, oh, they were eating this fucking corn that was giving them fucking like hallucinations, which is crazy to think about because like there's a lot of stuff that we eat that I'm like, why did we ever eat this? Like for example, avocado. I love an avocado. They're really weird looking. And we learned while we were in Mexico that the word avocado comes from a Nahuatl word, which is like a native language of the Aztecs. And their language is very like descriptive. And so like it literally means in Nahuatl, it means tree testicle.
Period.
So they saw these tree testicles and they decided to open them and eat them. Exactly. And so
I mean, like the nut that's inside of the avocado.
Yeah,
not
the pit.
The pit. I mean, come on. Get your head out of the gutter.
But like whoever was like, oh, let's eat that. I'm glad they did. I love avocado and all of its, derivations, guacamole. That's
I wonder if especially back then it was like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. What am I gonna eat? Like, I'm just gonna eat this, and if I die, I die. Like,
and there is also like another like fungus that grows on corn. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a delicacy in Mexico. It's like really good. I forgot what it's called. Okay. Anya Taylor-Joy was the first audition tape that Robert Eggers saw when casting for this film.
Cool.
One and done. Now, after seeing this film, you brought up Robert Pattinson earlier, but after seeing and loving this film, Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe, and Bill Skarsgård all reached out to Robert Eggers wanting to work with him. And they did. Pattinson and Dafoe were both in The Lighthouse. And then we had eventually Bill Skarsgård in Nosferatu, but he also worked with Skarsgård's brother in The Northman. I forgot which Skarsgård that was.
Alexander.
Also, what is it their dad? What's their dad's?
Yes. He
was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Maybe, but he was also the physicist in Marvel.
Yeah, I pretty sure it was the same guy because I was literally reading Stellan.
Yeah.
Crazy family. What are they eating?
Actors.
What kind of corn?
Stellan's awesome. Alexander is incredible. So is Bill. Like, I love all of the films that they're in, to be honest.
They're insane, and there's like 1,000 of them. So shout out to the Skarsgårds. Robert Eggers said in an interview that the best behaved animal actor in the film was the hare, and the raven and the horse were easy to work with, but Charlie the goat, Black Phillip, was difficult to train. And in one of the scenes when Philip lunges at the father, William, it was not written in the script. It just
oh my God, he's the literal devil.
He's just a goat. He's just a goat.
He's just a little goat.
Whew. Okay. Now this movie grossed total $40.4 million worldwide. Which is really good. I actually don't have its initial budget. It has 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is like super well deserved. But let me look up The Witch budget. 4 million. It had $4 million budget. So it definitely exceeded its budget.
So it made 10 times its budget?
Yeah.
Work. Robert, you ate.
Robert.
You cooked and you ate.
And we're so excited for Werewolf.
Listen, I'm so excited for Werewolf. I will be there.
Sad.
Maybe on release
Oh, it's a Christmas day? No, he won't. Brian's not going to let him. If he wouldn't let you do it for Nosferatu, he's not going to let you for Werewolf.
Yes.
Aww. We'll go the next day. We'll go on Boxing Day. Okay. It'll be okay. Does it come out on Christmas?
Yeah. All right. I think that's all for the no spoiler section. So We're going to move on to the spoiler section. If you haven't seen this movie and you care about having it spoiled, you should pause this, watch the movie because you need to, and then come back and finish the episode. Please. All right. So you had a couple of spoilery things.
Yeah, there's just one. So it's just on the mushing up of the baby. So at the beginning of this film, little baby Sam goes missing, and then we see a shot of a witch cutting him open and turning him into like a poultice and rubbing him all over herself. And so rendered fat of an unbaptized, usually male baby is an ingredient in witch's flying ointment, along with poisonous and hallucinogenic herbs such as belladonna, hemlock, nightshade, and wolfsbane. Supposedly, a witch would rub this flying ointment on herself and her broom in order to fly, which is what we see in this like little sequence. And so baby Sam was taken in order to make that ointment. And that's just like, you know, witch like lore.
I honestly feel like this is not very efficient. Like, what's the market on unbaptized babes? You know what I mean? Like, you can't go to Walmart and get that.
No.
And like back then, it was just not that many children. So
that's true.
It's like, why would the devil make a spell that required something that's so low? Like,
because this is a luxury. It's a luxury item.
To fly?
Yeah.
That's pretty standard witch thing,
it's
though.
basic supply and demand, John.
We're discussing the capitalism of witchcraft.
Yeah, I do think that like flying would be something that would like give you like status and like social capital, and therefore it would come at like a cost. And yeah, like I don't think tax. You would come across you know, rendered fat of an unbaptized male baby very often. So I think that would make you like, you know, did you see Sally
last night? Girl, she got that baby fat. Unbaptized, by the way.
She imported it.
Oh my God, can you imagine? This is crazy. I actually love the lore behind witchcraft, like in the like Puritan era, because it's just so crazy. Like,
yeah, and it's so tied to the religion itself, because like other groups of people who are not, you know, Christian, they wouldn't baptize their babies, but I think their babies would be fine. I don't know. Like, they probably didn't believe in witch. I don't know. Crazy.
I think they would believe in witchcraft, but like a different type of witchcraft.
Yeah.
Like different types of magic and stuff like that. Because I feel like all cultures have that.
Yes, definitely. Their lore would be different because, you know, there are other religions that don't have baptism. Therefore, that wouldn't be like a marker of like whether, you know, a witch can take your baby.
And I also feel like different cultures had different relationships with magic.
Yeah.
I feel like Christianity in particular demonized magic and made it evil, whereas like other, for example, like pagan cultures, like they integrated magic into their everyday lives, like maybe not everyday lives, but into their culture, if you will.
I do think like magic and like a lot of the things that were being vilified were tied to actions or people who they wanted to like put down, like women, like wanting to do certain things.
In Christian
that's
society.
Witchcraft. Exactly. So I think that this goes like beyond like, oh, this is magic, and it goes into like, oh, like we don't want women to have power, therefore if a woman's doing this, she's a witch. That kind of thing.
It's the demonization of women's empowerment.
Yes.
Right? Because like very much women had a very specific place in society below men.
Yeah.
And so if they tried to do anything other than that, they were accused of being a witch. It also, I mean, there's obviously other things too, like paranoia, and just scarcity of resources, because especially during that time they didn't have much.
Yeah, and fear of the unknown. Like they would be out there in a completely strange land, trying to grow crops they've never come across before, and it would be really scary.
And it was honestly a period of unhappiness. So like one thing that I read in the book that was really interesting, this historian that Eggers was talking to brought up a witchcraft case from like the 1700s. And when they would ask this girl, she was like being tried for witchcraft, and she would respond in like the positive, like she was a witch for some reason, maybe because she was like scared and just was, because they would torture people until they confessed, right?
I mean, maybe that was the thing. People still do that. Like people will confess to crimes they haven't committed because they're scared and they're being held by police, and that happens today.
Right. So it was stuff like, what did the devil offer you? And it was like, she would say the devil offered me to take the ashes out of the fire. I mean, it was just like really mundane things like that, like no more chores, or like it was this very like unhappy time in history where women, and specifically probably young girls, felt like they just needed freedom, and like they needed some time to breathe, or
some outlet.
They were tired of like essentially slave labor, you know, like they were just tired of that. They were like physical and religious and spiritual needs that were unmet. And so that's what kind of, I think, I mean, I probably would also sign this book if I was Thomasin, because what do I have to lose? My family's dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can we talk about that last scene? Because like honestly, it's such an iconic moment.
Fast forward to that, because it's so good. Yeah.
I mean, the movie is a very slow burn.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very slow towards the beginning. It ramps up the last like 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And the payoff for this movie, I don't think I've seen another movie who has a payoff quite like this one, because you not only get like the truth, quote unquote, revealed to you that like Black Phillip is the literal devil, but also that like there was no witch in the family really, and Thomasin gets to make this decision, like, would you rather sell your soul to the devil and have all these nice things, or would you rather like die in the wilderness, you know, like with nobody there to help you? I think it's really cool that the devil offers her like butter and a pretty dress and seeing the world. Like at least two of those things are pretty mundane. He's not offering her like power, you know, like, do you want to rule over the world? Do you want to do this and that? Like, it's really stuff like, do you want to eat?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was pretty powerful. And she's like, where do I sign, essentially?
She's like, down, butter? Yes.
Call me Paula Deen.
Let me get in there. Yeah, it is really interesting. And I love that this movie almost feels like it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because the whole time, like, Thomasin is innocent, and she has not signed her name in the book, and she is not in cahoots with the devil at all, but everything that goes down is her, because they blame her for this, or they blame her of this, and it eventually leads to her signing the book and becoming a witch. All the things that she was being accused of, she eventually does end up there. And what I was going to talk about earlier is that I feel like with the paranoia and like hysteria that is happening, like I feel like if you take all the supernatural scenes out of the movie, because you know you do see what happens to little baby Sam, like you see him being taken and you see him being killed, and you see the witch like summoning, is it Caleb, the little brother? You see
like her beckoning
him, and you see the witches dancing at the end and everything. If you took,
did you see how she beckons him? She shows him her ankle, bitch. she's got that ankle.
Yeah,
She,
yeah.
like,
That
hikes
would
up
have
her
been.
dress.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
I mean, never mind that she's like cleavage all out.
Boobs out,
like,
gorgeous.
Period. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then she just shows him her ankle.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like smitten.
He
period.
said,
that was
let's
it.
do it. Which he's a child. Crazy.
But he's
anyway.
he's coming of age.
Yeah.
So like you see him, and not to interrupt your thought.
No, go
But
for it.
like you see him like eyeing Thomas in a certain way because like she is also coming into her
And
womanhood.
she's the only one there.
And she's
like,
the only
for
one
him.
there other than like his mother,
mom,
right?
Or his younger sister.
And you see him like looking at her breasts or
Yeah.
like looking at her neck while she's sleeping and like all this other stuff. And you can tell there's like this weird battle inside of him trying to like fight his very natural urges.
Yeah.
Right? Versus like respecting his sister and like what she means to him. And this tension within Caleb comes out in a lot of different ways, like when he's talking to his father about like fighting your own nature and like talking to Thomasin about, you know, like, oh, leave me alone. She's like, why are you looking at me? And he's like, leave me alone. Like, I don't want it. And then when he gets to like the witch, like she seduces him, like she's able to do that because he's constantly like fighting against this nature is, I think, you constantly fighting against your nature without properly acknowledging it eventually makes you fall into that nature.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Whatever
this is
it
like
is.
whenever parents like don't let their kids have any candy. And
Right,
then the kid
exactly.
finally gets an opportunity to eat candy and the kid
Yeah.
gorges themselves on candy and gets sick. Like it's textbook, yeah.
It's
like
just
you
a human,
deprive-
yeah, exactly. It's human nature to eat. Like most people, if you give them an excess of resources, will eat until they are full. This is why, one of the reasons why we have like an obesity epidemic in the United States. Like if you give people high calorie foods, they will eat it. If it's highly palatable, people will eat it.
Yeah.
Like that's your
Tastes
nature.
good, yeah.
And it's one of those things like we have to acknowledge that nature in order to be able to manage that nature. And I
Yeah.
think this is a very interesting take that Eggers did with Caleb is like he is being taught to constantly fight his nature and eventually he succumbs to it.
I also think it's really interesting that a lot of the events. Okay, so let me go back to my original
go back
thought.
to your original thought.
I think if we take all the supernatural like scenes out of this movie, like I think everything would still go down the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like I think everything would still happen. Like most of the
Yeah.
family would die. Like it's this paranoia and this fear, and I really think that these people would have freaked out to the point where they would have all ended up dead.
Yeah.
Like if we never figure, like let's say like a wolf did take Sam, like they would have still blamed Thomasin of witchcraft.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff like would have still like gone down because they have this lore that they carried with them from their previous community that exiled them essentially. And I also think it's interesting, like they had to have, you know, procured the goat Black Phillip from someone else. And so who had the devil living with them before? How did they come upon Black Phillip?
I get the sense that they like traders
Yes.
like pass by
Yeah.
every once in a while because
Exactly.
he traded thy mother's silver cup.
Yeah,
You
which
know,
speaking of that, like there's like the thing with Caleb and he's, you know, kind of looking at Thomasin in a certain way, or the dad, he like trades the mom's silver cup
Yeah.
in order to
Which is
buy
theft.
traps. And both of these actions, which are done by male figures in the family, are blamed primarily on Thomasin. Like the mom
Yes.
is like, what did you do with my cup? And you're a slut, and that's why your brother's looking at you like this. When she's
Right.
completely innocent. And then the dad, like it's just like this irony because he's so pious and he's like trying to live by the way of God and like bring his family to the light and all that stuff. And eventually everything goes down the way it had. Whereas if they had just been kind to their daughter, I think a lot of the stuff wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But
Well, let's talk about that. Like the family dynamics, because that's
Yeah.
a huge theme in the movie, right?
the patriarchy.
It's basically trying to comment on the patriarchy, and it's one of those things like, have things really changed that much? I mean, yes, obviously, like women are not seen as property. Like they can't just, because at some point they talk about like we have to marry her off somewhere and like da 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 da. Like that doesn't necessarily happen in modern American society, but like you still see like a lot of similarities at the core. For example, when the mother is blaming Thomasin for everything and she's literally trying to kill her, Thomasin's like telling you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Like that was so heartbreaking. And I feel like we still see a lot of those dynamics between mothers and daughters too, where like mothers try to control daughters' lives and like daughters feel obligated to like respect their mothers in a certain type of way or something. And like, even though it feels so like choking, I guess, like girls still have to sort of like follow this like role that's set out for them. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a girl, so I can't really necessarily speak to all that. Like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think girls sometimes struggle like fitting into the role that their mothers place for them?
I think so. I think there's definitely like something to be said about the dynamic between like mothers and daughters versus like dad and daughter.
Yeah.
Or like son and father kind of thing. Like,
yeah, because you definitely get the sense that dad is very fond of Thomasin.
Yes.
Like
and Caleb is fond of mom.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think there's something to be said about that. It makes me think of, have you seen Lady Bird?
No.
Oh my god, like there's this one scene in Lady Bird and it's like she's like a teenager and she like wants to go to school in New York and her mom is like, we don't have money for that, and they're like arguing in the car and then they're like, you know, going through this whole argument and they're like at the thrift store trying to find her a dress for like prom or whatever, and they're just like yelling at each other and arguing back and forth, and then one of them finds a dress and it's like, look, and the other was like, oh, it's perfect, and like they're like in the middle of arguing and they just pause, and it's this like mother and daughter like dynamic that's really interesting. And I think it would be, when I think about having children, I don't know if I will, but I think it'd be hard to have a daughter because there's just all these societal expectations placed on women, and there's like a lot of, like, I think being a woman is hard, and so I would be so nervous about raising a daughter and like trying to, I guess, shield her from some of the things that I had growing up and some of the like I guess like insecurities that I have because of the society that I grew up in, or the way the women around me growing up talked about themselves and their bodies, and there's just like a lot of weird stuff that's going on there. So I think that's what that is. It's really interesting. Yeah. Because the mom with Caleb is completely different.
Yes, 100%. She, like, Caleb is her like star essentially. Yeah. But like I feel like, especially in Edgar's generation, because I definitely see like younger generations, it's a little bit different because you have like more liberal thinking, and that like women should be empowered and women should take control of their lives and ownership of everything. But like in Edgar's generation, let's say, and even older generations, it is one of those things like mothers expected so much from their daughters, you know, like to act a certain way, to marry a certain way, to be domestic in a specific type of way in the home. Or maybe
just to like do more than they did. Like I feel like when you have a child, like to some extent it's got to feel like a reflection of yourself. I mean, your kids look like you. And so I do think most parents want their kids to be happy. And sometimes they go about doing things the wrong way, but ultimately I do think or hope that they have the right intention. And so I think maybe it's that. It's like, oh, like, no, you can't do this. You can't act this way because... Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, that's bad. Like, and I want you to do well in society. Oh, for sure. And, like, you have to go live with these people and, like, hopefully marry off and do okay for yourself. Because that's the only, like, path that women really had. Like, even with, like, the silver cup, which was the only luxury that they had... And that was like her father's. It was like her father's silver cup. So it all just comes back to like, you know, the males, like the patriarchy in the film. Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about like the aspect of Puritan Christian values
Yeah.
Like that theme was really interesting to me. Obviously, William was the primary driver of set values. I mean, the movie starts out, they get kicked off of the plantation because I get the sense that he is like, the society that he's in is not pious enough or observing Christianity the right way that he sees fit.
Yeah, I agree. That's also how I understood that.
And so he is like, I cannot abide by false Christians. And
Yeah.
so they're like, okay, well then leave the plantation then and
he
be rid of
does.
this. And he was
Yeah.
like, I would be glad on it.
Yeah.
Catherine. And then like they like leave.
By choice, basically.
By choice. I mean, because he could have just swallowed his pride and been like, you
Yeah.
know what? Maybe this is a teachable moment. Maybe I can learn something
Yeah.
from this. But instead, he chooses to leave with his family.
Yeah.
I would argue that William, despite trying to live his life in the most Puritan Christian way, actually falls lower than his own expectations even. Because, like, he leaves because of pride. If
Yeah.
you really think about it.
Yeah.
Even the council tells him that it's because of his pride, right? Then he encourages his son to lie to his mother about
the silver cup and
with the silver cup.
and takes him into the
And
woods.
takes
which
him into
he
the woods.
promised not to do.
which he promised not to do. So he's already breaking covenants with his wife. Hello.
Yeah.
He, I don't know. It's like he's this like weak man, and even like his wife calls him out on it. Like, you're a weak man. You don't have a dog. You don't have a dog, William. And so it's like,
Or a horse, yeah.
or a horse. And he kind of falls prey to his own nature, right?
Yeah.
That he's like not acknowledging all of these things that he
Yeah.
needs to acknowledge, but instead is like trying to climb to these lofty ideals that he cannot reach.
Yeah.
It's impossible for anyone to really. And I thought that was really interesting. Like they're like a victim of their own faith.
Yeah. This was a movie about self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, self-fulfilling
Like
prophecy.
everything that they were afraid of, they kind of made it all happen.
So Loki, I feel like they were Calvinists because the way they were talking about like whether the son Sammy goes to heaven or hell, like
Sorry.
bless you.
Thank you.
The way they're talking about Sammy going to either heaven or hell, it's like a predetermined thing. And so,
No, I think it's because he wasn't baptized. Because even in Catholicism, if you're not baptized and you die, you're like, sorry, you're not going to go to heaven.
So the thing about Calvinism is like you are all like you're predetermined to go to heaven or hell, but the way that you live your life reflects your end path. So like if you're a person who goes to heaven, then you would be baptized, you would act this way, you would be pious, you wouldn't miss Sunday Sabbath, But if you're someone who went to hell, then you'd be out at the tavern and you wouldn't be baptized and like all this other stuff.
But with Sam, he's a baby. Being baptized would not be something that he would have any control over at the time.
Yeah, but then that means he was predetermined to go to hell.
Dang, that's crazy.
I mean, in Catholicism, that's how it is.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta baptize that baby, or they're
Yeah,
I mean, people will try to comfort others and be like, God has a blah, blah, blah. But then like, why not change the doctrine? Why not change the dogma to not say that? It's one of those things like. It's I think one of the cruelest parts of religion, not only babies, but like people who like decide to leave early, if you know what I mean. So like obviously like there's a lot of hurt in that case. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of hopelessness. And to me, I'm like, God is gonna like, I don't think that's a sin. Like I think God understands, if there is a God, understands like someone's situation and has love and pity for that person. My question, going back to Calvinism for you, is it's basically nihilism. Which version of nihilism would you fall into? So what do you think? If it's already predetermined, whether you go to hell or heaven, okay, would you choose to act righteously, or would you choose to just say F it, have fun, and like, if I'm going to heaven, whatever, like, because like there's technically nothing you can do about it to change the outcome, because that's what it's like determinism, right? Deterministic nihilism is basically what So like, what do you think? Would you act righteous, or would you be like, F it?
No, I mean, okay, I fucking hate philosophy, first of all. Putting it out there. Fuck that. I don't care what your theory of why we're here is. I don't care Plato's fucking allegory of the cave. I don't give a single flying fuck about it. I'm here on this planet, and there are people around me, and I'm gonna be good to those people. And it doesn't matter to me why I'm here, where I'm going after, where I came before. What I know is I'm here now, and I'm gonna do what is right, what I feel is right now, and I'm not gonna hurt others. And also, I'm having a fun time. Like, I'm having fun, Joanne. Like,
the two things are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, but yeah, I would like to start by saying fuck philosophy. Sorry, no.
In conclusion,
it's just not my cup of tea.
I love philosophy only because I like hearing other people's thoughts.
I think it's interesting,
And
but
it's
like
interesting,
ultimately, I'm like, it's like Elon Musk trying to get us to Mars. We have a planet here that we're on. Like, why are we wasting all these resources trying to get somewhere else when we could be working on what's here and what we know? Like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like philosophy is like, it's like, yes, like these are interesting thoughts. Like, I think it's like, you know, I don't think it's interesting, actually. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I think it's interesting just because it makes you think.
I think it makes you think, but why are we so worried about the why when we could be worried about the how and the now and the people that are around us? Like,
I understand what you're saying, but to an earlier point, it's not mutually exclusive. You can talk about your thoughts, have a good time, and like live your life in a good way. Yeah. And I actually agree with you. I don't think that like you necessarily need to go to heaven to do good things. I think you could enjoy your life, and as long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself, then you can just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I strive to live in a way that fosters community, and I want to like be a good person to those around me, and that's what I care about the most. But that being said, like, if we're going by the Bible, and I was baptized Catholic, if we're going by the Bible, I'm going to hell. I've sinned a lot. I have not.
No confession.
I've not confessed in many, many years.
No Jesus crackers in a long time.
I lived with my husband outside of wedlock. Like, all these things, but
you harlot.
I am a harlot, but I don't think I'm a bad person, because I'm nice to those around me for the most part, and when I'm not nice, I do repent about those things. Like, there are some things that I've done, especially when I was younger, that I deeply regret, and I'm like, why did I do that? That was crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's an interesting question, Joanne. So you agree with me, or are you gonna go crazy?
No, I agree with you. I don't think. Okay, first of all, I don't really have any religious beliefs, so even talking about God is kind of weird for me, because I had a really deep relationship with religion when I was younger that I no longer have because of multiple different reasons, not just because I'm gay, but like I feel like people are too worried sometimes about God and what God wants me to do in heaven. Will I get into heaven, or will I get into hell? Like, people are too worried sometimes about this like weird moral focus. And for me, it really comes down to something very simple, which is like, live your life with love. And
mind your business. Because if you're going to be religious, like, and you want to live your life a certain way, like, that's okay. But if you're judging others or going after others for not living life the way you want to, then I'm like, okay, that's not what God would want.
I think it's an interesting question. Like, when you think of, for example, when somebody says like, let's take homosexuality into play. Like, when someone says like, you shouldn't have sex with people of the same sex as you. Like, how does that make you feel as a person? Like, is it coming from a place of control, of envy? Is it coming from a place of hate? Is it coming from a negative place of any sort? Like, and if it does, like, really observe why that is. You can say, like, love the sin or hate the sin, like, I love you, so I don't want you to do this. But, like, at the end of the day, you are trying to control somebody's life. And, like, why is that? Why do you feel the need to control somebody when their business doesn't endanger your own business? It's one of those things, like, you know, people have their beliefs, and they're gonna fall into whatever thing they do. But I feel like as long as we treat each other with love, mind your own business, and don't hurt yourself for others, I feel like those are like the three major
tenets.
like the three major tenets to, like, really live your life in the way that I think if God really exists and he is a God of love, I don't think he'd blame you for that. I think even if you didn't go to confession, like, he'd be like, you know what, you're kind of cool, like come in, you can party with us, like, you know what I mean? So
I believe in God, but I also think that all of these religious texts that we have been definitely, like, not marred, but, like, men have put in their 2 cents into a lot of it. Like, a man had to write down the freaking religious text for the first time.
Yep.
And you don't think that a person's own, like, ideals and beliefs and feelings are going to, like, no one is objective truly
as
ever.
it was copied, translated, copied again, translated again,
I'm sure,
reworked.
like, a lot of this lore was first passed around through word of mouth. So, like, it's interesting. Okay, let me ask you another question, because I think this is also a good theme in the movie.
Cool.
But that was a great conversation about religion. Fuck philosophy. I'm just kidding. Respect to those. I'm happy for all that enjoy it. I don't want to think about that, okay? Thank you.
She's minding her own business.
Yeah.
And treating people with love.
Okay, I think, I feel like this is an interesting take on nature versus civilization.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And I think tied to this is also, like, what is understood and what is not understood.
Okay.
Because I think nature itself, as a biologist, I understand nature, but I'm freaking so certain that there is so much of nature that I don't understand still.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much that we still don't know of the world that we are living in, of our own biology. And so I think with these Puritan civilizations that are living in crazy times, unprecedented times, they're moving to a literal, completely foreign land for the first time. Their crops that used to grow in England are not going to grow in America anymore. They have, you know, Native Americans who are these people who look different, and they have these plants that are different, and they don't understand the nature of the world around them, and that's going to be terrifying. So you have these plantations that are, like, closed and guarded. Like, whenever they leave their plantation, there's, like, guards, and they're, like, opening and, like, closing the gates for them after they leave. And so you have, like, what is known versus what is unknown, which I think is nature. And I think we've talked about witches so many times already on this podcast, but I think in a way, like, witches and nature, like, sort of go hand in hand, because the way that they do their potions is, like, with all these plants, and they have, like, an understanding of the natural world. And I think there's, like, a fear there of the natural world. And I think it's also really ironic that, you know, we've had this, and it's also super valid. Like, if I'm out in the wilderness and it's dark outside and I can't see shit and I hear a noise, I'm terrified.
I'm running.
It's probably just an animal, but I'm terrified. But also it's interesting,
a squirrel.
Like, the way that we have co-opted nature for our own use now, and, like, how all these plants that we feared, or that cause hallucinogenic things, like, we now use them for our own enjoyment or for, like, our own medicines.
Yep.
And it's just kind of crazy, like, watching this in 2025 I watched this movie for the first time a long time ago, but I can't remember when, but watching this in the 2000s and trying to imagine what these Puritans were thinking and feeling, and how scary it would be. Like, I almost sympathize with them, because that would be friggin' terrifying. And most likely, like, why are their crops going bad? It's probably not the witches. Like, they probably just fucking a fungus or, like, a blight or something. Like, it happens, and we know this now, but they wouldn't at the time. And so that's why I said earlier, like, I think if we take out all the scenes with all the supernatural shit, like, I think this movie would play out the exact same way, because they have these fears, they have this lore, they have these beliefs from their community. And I think they would have still blamed Thomasin, even if little Sam was taken by a wolf.
Well, I mean, like, take into account the real world.
Yeah.
Where witchcraft doesn't exist in the way that it exists in the movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they still blamed women.
Yeah.
Like, everything's still
Women
played
are
out.
still blamed
Women
today.
are still blamed today, even though, you know, we're not calling them witches anymore, but
Yeah.
you know, it's like.
But we call them bitches and we call them cunts.
And sluts.
And we pretend that we're so civilized, but really, are we?
Right, that was one of my earlier points. It's like, things have changed, but have they really? Like, at the core, we're still blaming women for certain things.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes even women blaming women, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, it's like, I want to go back.
Sweeney, fuck you.
Oh, shit. You know how I feel about Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I don't like her. I'm sorry. If you're seeing this,
I don't think she's a good actress. I'm tired of seeing her in movies.
I don't think she's a good actress. And I think she had so many opportunities to address the Gap ad and she never did. And then she was like, no, I don't think that white people are... Girl. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, you know what? We know exactly what you think about what has been said. Your silence spoke volumes, and
Yes, it did.
I didn't like her as an actress before the ad, and I still don't like her. So
Yeah.
I don't.
That being said, I do hate on her. And I hate on that. Yes, I guess I hate women.
It's fine. Look, okay, so I want to go back to your original point about this being a movie about like civilization versus nature.
Yeah.
Because it's a battle we're always going to fight.
Yeah.
We're fighting that now.
I'm fighting it in my backyard. me and my clippers.
I mean, the acacia thorns, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Dang, I lost
No,
today.
but even like climate change,
Oh,
for
yeah.
example, you know,
I
like
think we're winning that one.
for now. If the Earth was Pokemon, it would have used Bide.
I don't know what that means.
For you Pokemon
Yes,
nerds, you know that's
sure.
bad news.
Sure.
No, but no. And listen, I haven't been around for billions of years, but from my understanding, we as a species have changed and manipulated our environment, our like nature so much faster and significantly than other species in the past, because like even like cyanobacteria, you know, producing oxygen and filling the earth with oxygen, that took billions of years or whatever, right? But humans, we have managed to pollute our planet since the Industrial Revolution. When was that? Like literally maybe 100, I don't know, I'm not a historian, sorry. But like since
200 years ago?
No, I feel like maybe like 100 years. If my
it's
students
definitely
listen to this, they're
before
like,
the
I know.
Oh my god, I used to be so smart.
I used to be so smart, y'all. I forgot everything.
I could have answered this question
Yeah,
in high school.
when did the Industrial Revolution
Oh my god,
start?
yesterday we were playing Codenames, and one of the Codenames clues was mercantilism. Bitch, I had to look up what mercantilism meant. I don't remember.
You know what? You were closer than me because it says the Industrial Revolution period 1760 to 1840.
1800s, yeah. I was
So,
like way before the 1900s.
You know, but I do think that like the more it happens, like we've been polluting more and more, and it's been getting worse. Yeah. So it's still a battle that we're fighting. You know, like,
and it's much like this movie. This is gonna be like what we're doing is eventually gonna fuck us over because I really do think it's like we are changing our environment at such a fast pace
Alarming.
that our own evolution can't keep up.
No,
like
cannot.
our bodies can't keep up with the change that we are enacting. Like I like the way we handle stress is like as if we were being chased by a mammoth.
Yes.
But it's sending fucking 1,000 emails every day and driving in traffic and going to work, and it doesn't work the same, and we're going crazy.
We're going crazy, and now it's time for the good, the bad, and the spooky.
Oh my god, thank god. Okay.
Mar, what's your good?
I love the ambiance and the scenery.
Yes.
I love the costumes. It really feels so isolated and eerie, and it feels like you're there with them. And even though this movie is set in like the 1700s, it feels like approachable.
The 17th century, I think.
It feels relatable, and I think that makes it really scary. But yeah, also I love the costumes in the movie. Like it just, the film and Eggers films feel so meticulous.
Yes.
And I think that's it's immersive.
That's why I love his films, because they really do feel like he put passion and love into his films. You know,
and
like
research. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. What about you? What's your good?
everything, no notes. I'm just kidding. Okay,
I knew.
I have some notes.
You have
but
notes?
I do have I loved everything about this film. Everything. Back to, you know, Eggers and storytelling, I think the reason he excels is because he does put in a lot of research, and he doesn't do projects that he doesn't feel passionate about.
Yeah.
So like, you know, everything from The Witch to The Lighthouse to The Northman, Nosferatu, and then probably Werewolf, it just feels true. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it does. It feels genuine.
It does feel real.
It's like you're there.
Every time I watch one of his movies, I'm like, this happened, right?
Yeah, I was like, is this based on a true story or something? Because he's so meticulous about everything: the research, the shooting, cinematography, the blocking, the lighting, the setting. He's like, no, we have to go to some remote fucking town in Canada to film this because nothing else feels right. That's nuts. So, you know, like, I just love everything about this film. I think the characters were really well written. I think it was, like, the accents are amazing. The syntax of the script, like the way they speak in the old English way that...
So good. I'm good.
The old English way that they speak, even though I need subtitles to understand it.
Yeah,
like, it's still awesome. Like, it just feels real. And that's what I love so much about his films, and this film specifically. What's your bad?
Nothing. What's your bad?
Nothing, no notes. Moving
perfect.
on. I did write one thing though. The twins are so annoying.
But that lends itself to the story. But yes, they're fucking annoying, especially the little girl. What was her name?
God. Clickety clackety.
Oh,
clickety clackety. I love that. She's so funny. She's
messy.
so horrible.
Messy.
She's horrible.
Bitch, shut the fuck up.
If anyone was a witch, it was her.
Yeah. Okay. The twins were definitely talking to the devil.
The 100% talking to the devil.
They were talking to the devil.
100% talking to the devil. That's how the devil influenced that family, is through the twins, probably. Okay, what's your spooky?
Being a woman in a religious household.
Wow. That hit. Yeah, that hits hard.
Yep.
What
about you? What's your spooky?
The baby skincare routine. I need to try that.
Yeah, that was crazy. Ew.
Well, now I know because you researched it. It's like a flying poultice, but she did rub it all over herself.
She did. She got in there.
And that was crazy. The devotion to Christianity, despite being faced with all of the hardships, I almost compared it to like Job, if you know the story in the Bible about Job. Even the wife compares herself to Job's wife. And I thought that was a very interesting parallel because it's very much giving Job. The family dynamics with the female children often being seconded or devalued, especially Thomasin, was really interesting. And it was interesting that the mom did it. Yeah. The mom devalued her own daughter, which was interesting. And obviously, like Black Phillip. Yeah. That goat was crazy. Yeah. That jump scare towards the end when he stabbed William, the goat, when the goat killed William, that was crazy.
Excellent.
Wouldst thou like the taste of butter? I love that.
Deliciously.
This
I love now that. ASMR.
All right, let's rate this movie by the number of apples you'd throw up after being witched.
Ooh.
How many apples would you throw up?
I would throw up 5 apples.
Period. I would throw up 5 too. 5 out of 5. Yeah. 100%. All right, now let's read some hilarious Letterboxd reviews. Mari, you want to start us off?
Yep. This is by Sri. Not a cell phone in sight, just people living in the moment. Yeah.
No technology, no tech. It's low tech.
Yeah, it's analog.
It's a low tech retreat. This is by Lily. When your circle's small but y'all crazy.
Yeah.
That fits into so many movies.
I love that. I love when people comment that. Okay, this is Molly. This was just like Among Us. That is crazy.
I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah, no. Imagine like going back in time and explaining the game Among Us to a Victorian child.
It's like the witch trials.
Yeah. Yep.
This is why #1 Gizmo fan. Black Phillip really is that bitch, isn't he? I mean, period. Did you see those boots? That's Prada.
Boots the house down.
That's Louis Vuitton. Okay. Okay. And then I guess yours.
This is Suspirlium. Hey guys, it's thy boy Black Phillip here. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I make ASMR videos for you every Sunday. Be sure to click that subscribe button if thou want to live deliciously. Slay. Wait, I made the ASMR joke.
You gotta do it with the like a really thick British accent from Love Island.
Fuck. Hey guys, it's thy boy Black Phillip. Nope, that went weird.
Hey guys, it's thy boy Black Phillip here. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I make ASMR videos for you every Sunday. Be sure to click the subscribe button if thou want to live deliciously.
But I feel like it would be whispered. It'd be like, hey guys, it's the boy Black Phillip here. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I make ASMR videos for your every Sunday. Be sure to click that subscribe button if thou want to live deliciously.
Chills. I could fall asleep to that.
And I do fall asleep to that.
Like and comment if you want a Mar ASMR series on Scary Movie Nights.
I'm really big on ASMR.
She'll read you scary stories.
Oh my
just
God, that'd
like
be
that.
cool.
That'd be so much fun, right? And that about does it for today. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the podcast, tell your friends about us, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and rate us 5 stars in whatever app or podcast service you use to bring on the spooks.
Please follow us on our socials by going to scarymovienights.com or by looking us up on any platform. You can also message us through our socials or by sending an email to spooky@scarymovienights.com.
Tell us in the comments what you think about The Witch 2015. How many apples would you regurgitate? I'm Joanne.
And I'm Mariana.
And thanks for joining us for another Scary Movie Night. See you in 2 weeks. Stay spooky. Oh. Stay spooky. Live deliciously.
I need some butter.